I've got a little story to tell you guys, but I hope I can get through it because I'm losing my voice. Here's the deal, man. I've got this neighbor living right next door to me named Buck. His last name's Bucker. No joke, man, I'm not making this shit up. And Bucker's got this female friend, girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, wife, ex-wife, breeder, whatever. And she sporadically lives there. And when she lives there, they fight all the freaking time, man. I mean, knockdown, drag out. Everything's fine 1 second. The next second, the kitchen table's on fire and shit. Let me tell you something. The police are there more than the freaking mailman. So this happened about 6-7 months ago. I was in the kitchen pouring myself a bowl of Circus Fun breakfast cereal when I heard a commotion outside. You know, loud cussing, the standard yelling and screaming. So I went to assess and scope out the scene, and this is what I saw. Buck was standing in the middle of the street, right in front of his girlfriend, who's behind the wheel of her beat-up old jalopy. Now she's revving the engine, vroom, vroom, vroom. And he's standing with his kneecaps against the headlights, and he's taunting her, egging her on, pounding the hood, boom, 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 boom. She's screaming from inside the car, he's screaming from outside the car, and I'm hearing a lot of freaking funny words that start with the letter F. So, you know what? I'm psychic, you know what, this is the deal. She kept trying to back up to leave. And it's kind of a complex situation to discuss. But as she kept backing up trying to leave, he kept edging his body against the front of the car. And this went on for about, this went on for quite some time actually. And I'm sitting there watching it. And I knew exactly what was going to happen next because I'm psychic like that. But also because after having a litany of mentally defective ex-girlfriends, I've kind of become an expert in predicting psychotic behavior. And I knew eventually she was going to run his ass over. So this dysfunctional dance, it went on for about 10 or 15 minutes when my prediction came true. She backed up really fast to gain a little momentum and bam, she hit him. It was like a movie and Buck was like a rag doll. He bounced, flew onto the hood of the car and he just landed there like he was dead. Then his limp body just rolled off onto the street and I heard the sound of his flesh smacking the pavement. And let me tell you something. I saw the girl when she hit him. She had a big freaking smile on her face. She was pleased, she was very pleased. Her cup runneth over, that her car runneth over. So, after she hit him, she just nonchalantly backed up, drove around the body and took off. But not before shouting something obscene about his mother. That's Buck's mother. And we know it's his mother because in big gold font it says, mother.
Unfortunately, at this point in the set, the video camera got shut off for a split second, at which time I asked the audience to think about her name for a second, and then I paused to dramatically reveal that her name is Mother Bucker.
Unfreaking believable, and trust me, this is a picture of Buck's mother. I went to great lengths to obtain this picture. It was quite clandestine and cloak and dagger. I can't tell you how I got it though, or I'd have to kill all the audience, and I don't want to do that. So, after she hit him, she drove off, and Buck was in the street for only about a half a minute. Then he suddenly, albeit slowly, got to his feet, and he just stood there, as if he was contemplating what to do. And then common sense prevailed because Buck made the most logical decision of a person who just got run over by a car. He decided to chase her down on foot. It was unbelievable. And, Buck wasn't in good shape, but his run was actually pretty fast for a guy who just got hit by a car. But it was gimpy and it wasn't fluid at all. And let me demonstrate, I got to back up here. Here's Buck running. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, his legs are crossed, his arm. It looked like George The Animal Steele running, if you know who I'm talking about. He just passed away a couple weeks ago. And the whole time he was chasing her down, his arm was out like this, as if he was silently saying, "Stop, you crazy bitch." At no time during the chase did Buck think that she would or could come back to finish the job. So I gotta give Buck his props, man. The dude's got some Roddy Piper coconuts. But the chase did end when Buck just collapsed into the street and he just lay there like he was dead. And I'm watching all this from the house, laughing. Buck was in the street for about 5 or 10 minutes. And I have to tell you, at no point did I go and try to assist him in any way. I just watched, So finally Buck got up and he slowly walked home, sad, depressed, betrayed, beaten, battered, bruised, angry. Oh man, Buck was angry. And I knew exactly what was going to happen next. I knew within 10 minutes the whole place was going to be flooded with cops and emergency personnel. And that's exactly what happened. 4 or 5 cop cars, 3 ambulances, it was chaos. Buck even pushed the EMT who was trying to treat him. It was entertaining. And I'm watching all this from the confines of the Ripper compound. I'm peering through the slits in my blinds, you know? Like the slits here in my sunglasses. Because I don't want anyone to know that I saw this shit. Because if people know that I saw this shit, then I'm going to be forced to testify about this shit. And I don't want to have to testify about this shit, because if I have to testify about this shit, it's going to be nothing but shit for the clown. I mean, I don't want to get involved, you know? I have to live here. I have to drink here, for God's sake. And I've watched plenty of Unsolved Mysteries episodes over the years to know how situations like this always go down. Robert Stack told me all about it. In criminal cases, the first person to always get whacked is the clown set to testify. I mean, you can take any criminal justice course at any college in the country, even freaking DAC, and they'll always tell you the same thing. The most disposable entity in any criminal case is always the son of a bitchin' clown. Up in Chicago, it's even worse, man. Roy Brown, he played the beloved Cooky the Clown on the Bozo Show. Some of you may remember him. He's dead because of shit like this, people. Clown, dropped dead just like that up in Chicago. I'm telling you, you can hire a hit on a clown up there for nothing more than an elephant ear and a goddamn candy apple. And imagine this. The night before I'm set to testify, I want to go out to the Spread Eagle Strip Club for a little adult entertainment, if you know what I'm talking about. I'm walking out to my car, Buck's girlfriend's out there revving her engine, vroom, 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 and bam! She runs me over, kills me. Or, alternatively, she could always hire a couple mimes to kidnap me. And of course, they'd be silent on their demands, you know? And then, weeks later, a couple kids walking home from school would find my dead body stuffed inside some invisible box. No, sir, man, not happening to me. I just turned 4. I want to see 5, if you know what I'm talking about. So the cops and Buck had no clue that I saw anything. I hid in that house for 72 hours, during which time I wrote a little song about the situation. And I'm going to sing you a couple choruses right now. Keep in mind 2 things. Number 1, I'm not the greatest singer in the world, nor have I ever proclaimed to be. I am no Pamela Adams. And secondly, keep in mind that my song is set to the music and the theme of the holiday classic, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. And also third, I guess I should mention this, I forgot my music at home because I'm a dumbass sometimes. So I'm just going to hum the music for you. Here we go. Dun 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 dun. Buck got run over by his girlfriend. Dun 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 dun. Arguing in front of the house one afternoon. Dun 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 dun. We don't know what they were fighting about. Dun 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 dun. Hell, they may even be married. We don't know. Dun 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 dun. Some didn't think she'd really try and kill him. Dun 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 dun. But as for me and Buck, we believe. Dun 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 dun. Thank you. Thank you. That's Buck got run over by his girlfriend, coming soon by Ripper the Clown. So flash forward a few weeks, I'm driving home after one of the many sold-out brouhaha comedy shows right here at Venice Villains. It's like 3 in the freaking morning, I'm about 2 blocks from the house, and I see Buck up ahead of me riding on this bicycle. And he's just riding along, he saw the headlights coming, he turned around, saw a car approaching, he immediately started weaving back and forth from one side of the road to the next. I think he was drunk. I also think he was taunting me, like he taunted that girl who ran his ass over. So after about a half dozen weaves, I was like, that son of a bitch is gonna fall off that bike. And bam! As if my thoughts were controlling the situation, the bike went out from under him, he fell flat on his freaking face. It was hysterical. You should have been there. So I drove up to him, and I have a confession to make. I momentarily considered running Buck over just for shits and giggles. I mean, I figured everyone else was running Buck over, so why not Ripper the Clown, you know? But I decided to scratch that idea, not because I didn't want to hurt Buck, but because his bike was in the road, and I figured it'd tear the shit out of my car. So I drove up to him, And I compose myself because I'm laughing really hard. I can't wipe the smile off my face, so it's always there. And I roll my window down, and he's trying to brush himself off and act all cool. And I'm like, hey man, are you okay? He's like, yeah bro, fucking A, I'm good. I just slipped on some gravel. I'm like, well, I had a feeling you were probably okay after a little fall like that because, after all, I've seen you get run over by a car before. And I hung my head like I'm hanging it right now because at that moment I knew that I slipped up. Because he knew that I knew that 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 he knew that he knew that I 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 knew that I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew that I saw him get run over by his girlfriend. Oh, bucket. Looks like I'm gonna have to testify. So just when you think the story's over, it's not, because the next afternoon I was out in my yard working out. I was doing some push-ups, skipping some rope, doing pull-ups, doing dips on this old fence that I converted to a makeshift dip bar. Buck was out in his yard watching me. He came over to the fence. He's like, hey bro, come over here. So I went over there. He's like, bro, I know you don't want to get involved. I know, you know what, man? I know that you'll make your life hell if you get involved. I know you don't want to have to testify, and you don't need that shit in your life. So I'll tell you what, bro, if you do me a little favor, I won't tell anyone that you saw what happened and you won't have to testify. So inside, you know, I'm like, yes, because I don't want to have to testify. But outwardly I was playing it cool because I don't know what the guy wants. So I'm like, okay, man, what do you need? He's like, well, I've been watching you work out. Momentarily, I thought he was going to ask me to work out with him or train him or something. I mean, look at me, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, well, I've been watching you work out. And he stopped and looked around to see if anyone was listening. And then he said, you're a beast. If you be Buck's little doe, Buck will be your big buck. I had to break it to Buck that Buck's not on my bucket list. And you can bet my firm clown ass that he didn't appreciate the rejection. He leaned over the fence and got my face. He's like, hey clown, buck you. Yeah, buck me and buck my life. Oh, bucket. Looks like I'm still gonna have to mother bucking testify. I'm Ripper the Clown, and the story you just heard's true. The names haven't been changed to protect the innocent because I don't give a buck. Thank you. I know what you guys are all doing right now. You're all looking up freaking Buck Bucker on Facebook. You're like, I want to get a load of this guy.